Hail, Internet. It's Paul. It's Matt, the Dork Lords. Today, we're talking about the finale of the third season of the HBO series House of the Dragon. The episode entitled, The Treasons at Tumbleton. We open with Rhaenyra learning that Aegon and Sunfire are alive. She has a private meltdown with Daemon, mainly because by declaring Aegon dead, then having him magically reappear, the church and the people see it as a sign that the seemingly resurrected Aegon is the true king.
Yeah, we believe you that he was dead, but...
Yep.
we think he's coming back to life.
That's right. He's a vampire.
Well, I think, you and me are atheists, but let's face it, there's another metaphor, another character throughout history.
I think it's vampires are the only thing, Paul,
that come back from the dead.
That's right. So Daemon reminds her that she still has a bunch of dragons, and she orders Daemon to kill every high tower in Tumbleton, but, quote, do not make a monster of me.
Yes.
Seems unlikely given the direction.
Yeah, and the person you're asking.
We end with the death we suspected was coming.
Yes.
Helaena leaps out of a window to avoid the bleak future she has foreseen for herself and her unborn child.
Sure.
Though that does still leave young Jaehaera in Rhaenyra's charge. Rhaenyra finally looks at the embroidery Helena's been working on. She sees Helena's leap sewn into the fabric, and she sees an image of herself apparently bleeding from the Iron Throne in front of a montage of dying people and dragons. She is not, apparently, the prince that was promised, as she assumed. However, resolute in her latest role as evil queen.
Yes.
She closes the shutters to the open window and credits. All that said, Paul.
Matt.
What'd you think of the season 3 finale?
Yeah, I liked it. I did. Even though, I've noticed occasionally when Rhaenyra is having a bad time, I haven't, it's been rough for me. Sort of like, God, I like Rhaenyra, and she's messing up. But here, I think it's easier to understand her messing up, much more than, say, in Game of Thrones.
Right, you have the Daenerys analogy, obvis
right,
the comparison
right.
to make. Yeah.
But, she's like, this is it for me, this is no good. So, it made sense that she says, Visario away, and as people come up to her, she's just like, I don't have time for this. Even though she counsels Daemon to not make a monster out of her, she's becoming one anyway. So, it's...
Indeed.
I was recently rewatching The Godfather 2, which, of course... Michael takes even more extreme actions than the first. I mean, you can you can root for Michael in the first one, but
right.
As he makes his choices, I'm trying not to spoil it.
Spoilers
for The Godfather 2. As he makes his choices, it's not as easy to be on Michael's side, and I feel it's the same thing with Rhaenyra in this one.
Yeah. She definitely crosses a threshold into... Yeah. I mean, when she starts telling the crowd about the prophecy...
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she does sound kind of mad queenish there,
Yeah. But Ormond dies, so,
Right.
How could I not love this episode?
And oh, does he die. I mean, wow.
Yes, he really does. You gotta hand it to the person he was in battle with. He was like, yeah, come on!
Lord Roderick.
Yes, cheered on his own death.
There was some interesting bits there. So, I mean, we haven't really talked so much about the Winter Wolves. We talked a bit about them, but especially I think they were in the first episode of this season. But their whole, reason for being is they're Northmen. They're all aging Northmen. Like, hey, go try to open the gates. Are you prepared to die for your queen?
Yeah.
You're like, you thought you'd never ask, but they are in fact trying to die a glorious death, and so it's actually it's almost a little comical when they are visibly disappointed to have at least temporarily survived their suicide mission. They get over the wall and they're like, huh? No, we're still alive. Look at that. Which was a kind of a funny bit.
There's still more fighting to do.
That's right, more fighting. Thank goodness. And so I'm obviously definitely inspired by like Norse mythology for sure in this. But Roderick, he gets impaled by Ormond. Ormond severs his arm.
Yes.
He then kills Ormond by stabbing him in the, let's say, backside.
Yes.
Gives him a solid one-liner, and then cheers, one-armed and all, as the dragon comes to incinerate him. So it was like, oh, yeah. Going to Valhalla, baby. There we go. Yeah.
It's like,
he went
what
out
was it?
like a champ.
From the previous episode.
Well, Kristen Cole died earlier.
Cole, he would have killed for that for that death.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. You're gonna sing a song about that one, baby.
Yeah.
Also funny that Ormond. They brought up this whole he has a really sensitive sense of smell.
Yes.
And so in 2 moments here, again, it feels all practically comical.
Yes.
But there's the one moment where he discovers Ulf in the bathroom, in the outhouse, and so he recoils because of his sense of smell. But then the other one is the scent of blood. Once he cuts off Roderick's arm, you see him kind of go, whoa, and like he can't take it, and then he gets burned beyond all recognition. So yeah. It came off in a different scenario. You put the Benny Hill music. We hardly knew ye, Ormond. I mean, that battle scene was obviously epic, high spectacle. They put a lot of cash into that particular battle to end the season. Obviously, it came down in many ways to Ulf, right? So it was interesting the way they played it. He didn't just betray Team Rhaenyra. He also betrayed Ormond because Ormond was such a dick. And so you had this thing actually where, one of the reasons he was willing to betray Daemon's army is Daemon publicly shamed him in the streets of King's Landing. Well,
and it's clear that Ormond knew that because it's one of the things he listed in his meeting with him.
Great
point.
That
I heard this thing happen to you. That didn't sound good. Unless
so
it's
what
me
does he
doing
do?
it.
Right. Turns around, does the exact same thing.
Now go get on your dragon.
Right.
Now that I
get
on your ass.
On your giant weapon that you could point at literally anything. And
even
just
someone
know that
who's
the last
kicked
thing
you
I did
when you were down. Yes, just forget that. Forget that.
And that was a great last line there where Ulf, he's like, F you too, and it just turns and starts mowing down everyone. And showing also that Ulf is a terrible person. I mean, while we can feel sorry that he was put upon, he also just, his true colors showed.
Yes.
He's a pretty terrible person.
He is, yeah.
In fact, you tell me here, but...
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think this was in dialogue per se, but it was just more in the way things were shot and the nonverbals that I was getting from Daemon. He seems actually affected by the, I'll say, tragic outcome of the battle. I suppose they technically win, but he's looking around at the town and all of the... Daemon.
Oh.
I almost felt like there was a moment where he was looking like he was almost becoming disillusioned a little bit with, it was kind of pulling a Kristen Cole from a couple of seasons ago where it was like, wow, this is pretty hellish. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I was wondering if they were going to do a flip there.
I guess we won't see until next season. Right. Really.
2028.
And considering where Cole ended up, I'm not sure that... I don't know that it changed the behavior that much. I mean, I guess he was given options that he didn't take, right? That they made sure that he was aware that he could choose something else.
He just became really fatalistic.
Yeah, right.
Whereas Daemon, because he still has some control, right? He has a dragon. He's married to Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
He's got, right. So maybe instead of being fatalistic, he somehow thinks of a way to think again before he so quickly says, wait, why don't we just go kill everyone in town?
I mean, even besides from, I guess, the story that we know is coming,
right.
He's not the type to do anything
right,
else.
He's not going to be like, hey, guys, peace.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah.
But he could be a guy who's like, maybe, hey, instead of attacking a town, maybe we try to pick off the leaders or something. I don't know.
But then, too, they also made a point of when, what is it, Gawain and Corlys come to him before the battle. Yeah. And they clearly give him, at first it's like, Gawain gets to this thing that he wants to laugh at. And then Corlys comes and he's like, hey, I didn't agree to that. And Corlys is like, shut up, boy. Like, come on, we could do this option.
Yeah, it was one of those, like, you control most of the lands, but you allow Darren to control, a slice of the pie, essentially.
Right.
And it's like, no, we're not doing that.
Certainly the Sept, I don't think, would accept it. And Aemond and Aegon are still around. So
right.
It's like, you would think they would need to be at that meeting.
Good point. I assume everyone who's not here would agree. So, yes. Let's just say yes. But there's also, obviously, during the battle, Daemon kind of getting knocked around quite handily by I think it's Roxton, Lord Roxton, before they get separated in the fires. But yeah, so maybe there's also a set of sense of Daemon he's not feeling quite as invincible as he might have pre-battle. But
I suppose. I feel as if previous battles he hasn't always just
you're right
won handily. I think there are times when he was challenged.
I think you're right. Anyway, speculation, which we will obviously, as you say, will not come to pass for a couple of years. So we'll just leave that there. Interesting, though, we have Hugh, and obviously in the books, Hugh does a turn here and is a betrayer.
Right. Yeah, they're clearly saving that for next season.
Yeah, so that's a question I have. I think you're right. But I suppose I could make an argument that maybe because they're trying to show a difference between Ulf and Hugh. Like, we don't just want them to be the same guy.
Sure.
So in this case, Hugh doesn't fly on his dragon, Vermithor. He prefers to enter the town with the infantry in order to look for his wife.
Right. And he finds her.
And he finds her, and she's been killed, but not by the dragon. She's been killed by soldiers.
Yeah.
So maybe you could say that Hugh could be seen as betraying Team Rhaenyra by not staying with his dragon. And also he was ordered to stay in King's Landing to guard the dragon pit, which he did not do. So, it's like, is that enough? Is that sufficient to land him, say, in prison or get on the wrong side of Rhaenyra? Maybe. Or is it like, he's going to say, look, Daemon's army killed my wife. I will now go get ultimate revenge, get on my dragon, and fight for the other side. I suppose there's maybe a little bit of a question there as to how that plays out. So Harrenhal, we have Alice is revealed to be the ancient. We kind of knew she was ancient. I don't know. They kind of hinted at that for a while.
Sure.
But she's the wife of Harren the Black from the time of Aegon the Conqueror. She unsuccessfully used, I think, essentially weirwood magic to keep her son alive, but he had been burned by dragonfire so badly that he died. However, her use of that magic left her immortal. That's not the worst curse, but it can be. But, but it also stripped her of her titles, her identity, essentially. Hey, because she's ageless, she can't really pretend to be who she actually is, I guess, is the idea. And so she's always living at Harrenhal, but she can never rule it. And so maybe that also explains why she's been so obsessed with being recognized as like the Lady of Harrenhal. because she is in her mind, but no one believes that she's that same person, I suppose. But then we get this Aegon shows up to Aemond, and he has that another fun line actually, but just the "I'm alive, imbecile," slaps him. And he's trying to instigate a fight, I assume. I think he wants to have Aemond respond, and then he can have Sunfire burn him.
Yeah, it's interesting that it has been a while since we've seen them together. And
right.
I think I had expected, partly because, Aemond didn't seem to make the mistakes that Aegon did. Even though he didn't have as many opportunities to be, but even the plans that he stated, even though his mother was able to convince him not to do it, like, oh, that sounds reasonable. No, we can't have you doing that.
Yeah,
why don't you go over there? He just gets on his knees instantly. He and admits how he was scheming against his brother.
He's a kinslayer. Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
I guess this time in Harrenhal has changed him, I think, is the implication, right?
Perhaps. I mean, I guess he was always deferred to him before, obviously, partly because his title, though. Right. Now I'm remembering that Aegon was, like, fighting against becoming king.
I guess we should point out, obviously, Alicent's poison attempt did not work.
Yes,
that's obvious, but yeah.
Yeah, she should have found a way to poison Alice.
Right, great point. Maybe, I guess she couldn't, right? She could be like, well, damn, she could drink a lot of this poison.
Yeah, come on. Give it. Why don't you drink what I'm giving you? Come on.
She must be a vampire, Paul. But, it was interesting the way that the show framed Harrenhal in seasons 2 and 3. So season 2, Daemon basically hung out with Alice for most of season 2. And then in season 3, Aemond hung out there in Harrenhal with Alice, and obviously they're showing a connection between the two. I think the two are going to eventually have their confrontation there, essentially in that region. But it did feel in both seasons a little disconnected from the rest of the show.
Okay,
like there's all this stuff happening and these politics, and then you would cut to Harrenhal, and it's like an empty castle with just two people usually, and we see them have visions. And but it was always like a little, like it felt like almost its own little show within a show.
Sure.
So anyway, it was an interesting choice. I'm not sure. I think pacing wise, they may have. I feel like it suffered a little bit generally. Obviously, the pacing here is fun when Aegon shows up. So I'm, maybe the wrong time to call that out. But anyway, it's interesting. I wonder if what's gonna happen now. Aegon's returned.
Right.
Aemon maybe can stop punishing himself for killing his brother, since his brother is not dead. And his brother has charged him with helping him reclaim the throne, in which case maybe he'll get forgiven. So I'm wondering if this means they'll at least temporarily leave Harrenhal and join kind of the rest of society.
Yeah, I don't know if I was Aemon, whether I would suspect even after all that occurs and he is a loyal soldier, that he would expect that Aegon would not still punish him.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, and Aegon even says, like, I might. He doesn't say you'll be forgiven.
Yeah, no.
So
maybe he's just like,
here's
I'm going to forgive you a quick death.
Right. We both know that I'm not a terrible person. So yeah, the only scene we got with Alicent, she fled Harrenhal. She's between Harrenhal and King's Landing, I suppose.
Right.
She's got some guards with her. She found somebody that she is traveling with. And the only scene we see, I don't think she has any lines, but she just notes that the butterflies fly away, and she takes that as some kind of a portent, which is true.
Yep.
That's Helena's death. So that she doesn't really have much to do in this particular episode.
Right, no. I mean, clearly they want to leave it for the next season for her to really, for her to recognize the fact that, there's no one left for her to save.
Right. This was the one child she thought maybe she could fix or save. Yeah.
I shouldn't say one because she doesn't. I keep forgetting about Darren.
Well, there's Darren.
Yeah. So
maybe she'll turn her attention to Darren.
Ormond's dead. She didn't even know that was a problem, and now he's dead. So it's a big question what's going to happen to him. Even though, yeah, she's in such a habit of like, oh, well, here, Rhaenyra, you can kill this one too. You can.
Yeah, I mean, in book terms, Darren kind of has a vague death where he may or may not have died, and he just kind of disappears after one of the battles of Tumbleton. So I wonder if they're going to come back and be searching for Darren and they can't find him maybe when we come back here. But we didn't see him die, obviously.
No,
he and his dragon were just fine when we left him. So the implication being he didn't die.
Sure.
So anyway, we'll see how that plays out. This sounds like a way too little, too late. But I'll give a spoiler warning. What the heck, Paul? Look, guys, spoiler warning.
You've been warned. Rather late.
Paul had told me about, but when we were talking before this, before we recapped, Paul was like, you are pretty free with the book, with the book spoilers. So, book spoilers, which I've never obviously given any book spoilers until this point. But
no.
So here we go. So season 4 is going to be the final season.
Yes, it will.
And so I would say here are some highlights that we can expect. But hey, just because it's in the book doesn't mean it's going to be
true.
In the show.
Yeah.
We've seen many changes.
We have.
But okay, so you've been warned. Spoilery. Okay, fine. So season 4 highlights would include, likely, the storming of the Dragon Pit. That's probably going to come pretty quickly.
Sure. In
which most of Rhaenyra's dragons are killed by the townsfolk at the cost of a whole bunch of flambéed peasants. Aegon has a temporary ascension, during which he has Sunfire kill Rhaenyra. Mm-hmm. He then has a subsequent fall. We have the highly anticipated dragon fight between Daemon and Aemond over the God's Eye, so in that region with Harrenhal.
Sure.
And then ultimately, Rhaenyra's young son, Aegon III, becomes kind of the boy king at the end of all the carnage.
Sure.
So that's how it will likely play out.
There you go.
In season 4.
Sure.
So anyway, it was an entertaining season. I think the pacing was a little odd at times, just from episode to episode. They just whatever, but it moved fast in a lot of ways. It had a lot of balls in the air that it had to kind of keep a lot of character stories going, which I thought it did pretty well. And we ended on a pretty big spectacle. So I enjoyed the season. I don't know about yourself.
No, I enjoyed it too. I mean, I think there were days where it was difficult for me to watch. I had to come up with ways to watch it. And so I think if I hadn't had to
gotcha.
watch the shows, I would have ultimately watched those shows. It's well made, but yeah, it's a little tough, because the characters, you're like, wow, you're making me care about these characters, and now, they're not behaving in the best way. It's like, it's like you want to go and advise her, but no.
Don't get to know your heroes or whatever. Yeah. You out there in internet land, let us know what you thought about season 3 here in the comments.
Sure.
Next up for us, HBO, in fact, they're like, okay, we're done with one show, on with the next. They're going to be doing Lanterns.
Yes.
And so we are going to be covering that. Excited to see that first episode drop coming up this Sunday. So thank you as always, Paul.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it, good sir. And we'll talk to everybody next time.
Bye.
Bye.